welcome back. So today we have the Arrma on the bench, and we have the new body for it. I do have some clear bodies coming. There's just a big delay in the clear bodies due to a bad eBay seller, which I'll get into in another video as soon as I resolve it with eBay. I'll shout out who it is and let you guys know not to buy from that vendor. Just, you know, I had to screenshot so many lies the guy was telling, and I have no problem if somebody gets sick or can't get something shipped out because of an illness. What I don't like are lies. But we'll get into that in another video. As you guys saw, you know, the Kraton definitely suffered it's not a catastrophic failure. I wouldn't say it's a weak point. It's kind of like a fuse for a bad landing. What this is going to do is pull out the pivot ball on a bad landing to save other parts. The bad part about the pivot balls coming out, and the reason I don't like pivot balls as much as I do C-hubs for bashing, is because when they pull out like this, you run the risk of breaking your servo saver, your upper control arm. You could bend your axle shaft, your drive axle. You run the risk of damaging everything, because right now basically it's relying on this upper arm, the steering link, and then Ackerman bar. But because we have the Basherqueen's end pieces all in carbon fiber on this thing, along with the carbon fiber clipless body mount system, that gives you an added sense of protection, is what I want to say. So the part number for the body, if you're going to do this conversion, and this comes complete with cage, is a 9511R. This is a Traxxas part. It will come with the roll cage on the inside and the body. I paid $75 for this thing off eBay. I don't know what Traxxas sells them for, but it comes with the skid plates, all the stuff, a complete body. The problem with buying a clear body is that you still need all this stuff anyway, which you would have to buy separate. So I don't know what that would run. I do know that I spent $100 on 2 clear bodies, and my plans were to use all the pieces off this body and keep this red body for my sledge, because that's going to be my basher body, the green one over there, and the red body I was going to keep as a shelf queen body, as a backup for the sled. Steal all the plastic parts out of this, put it into the green body, and do the custom paint work for Arrma. So all that's still in the works, I should say. Fans did really well. We've got a part from Basherqueen that came in that I'm going to make a change to the fan, and I'm going to show you how simple that is. Working with good people like Game Changer and Basherqueen. Like I keep telling you guys, you work with good companies, honest, good, fair price companies like Basherqueen and Game Changer RC, you're gonna get good quality. So we're gonna get this body unboxed real quick, make sure that it fits on like it should, because I use the other body to fit everything and adjust everything so that it fits right in. And I had said this before when I was doing this conversion with the Basherqueen on my rear shock tower. One of the holes wasn't drilled out, but because I bought 2 kits, I just laid it over the other kit, marked the hole, and re-drilled it. I did see somebody else the carbon fiber towers onto a sledge, and one of the holes on the rear wasn't drilled. I don't know if it's something that she's overlooking, but my second kit had the hole drilled. But you got to give Basherqueen a little slack right now. She has a broken arm. She has people helping her, so I'm sure it'll get resolved real quick. She's a great company and she stands behind it. To drill one hole's not really that big of a deal. And I don't think the other guy that had the carbon fiber 5mm tower for his sledge, If you haven't seen those, go check them out. I'm gonna get them ordered up here real soon as we start the build on the sled. He didn't even drill the hole. He just put the mount on that way. And it's funny, when I did this conversion the first time, I didn't even know there was lower holes, so I didn't put those bolts in. But I ended up drilling them and putting them in after because I had to make a lot of adjustments to fit the body. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get this wheel off, get it out of our way, get the pivot ball fixed up so that gonna inspect the bearing carrier. And this should be a little hard to get off. These hexes on the EXB, as you see, they're starting to round. I'll bring you guys in closer. So, went ahead and tried to get this on, but as soon as I started screwing the cap in, you can see the big split. So this did break. So I will have to order some up, which I'm gonna call around and see if I can find some. But meanwhile, I'm just gonna pop it together. I gotta get this piece ordered up so that we can get the Arrma back together. All right, so we went ahead and got the EXB over there is got a busted bearing carrier for the right front. So we're gonna move on to the Sledge. We got the new body on over there, as you can see. So parts should be in Wednesday, Thursday. We'll get that one fixed up. But until then, we're gonna go ahead and check the damage on the Sledge. We already figured out the damage first run with the EXB. And now we're gonna move on to the Sledge, check for any damage, get the batteries out. I tend to blow them off before I bring them inside, and just something you gotta look for. I do want to check for a rear shock tower bent. I did see a post about somebody bending a rear shock tower, and I did tighten up all my inner upper links with the poly locks. I did not add Loctite. All I did was tighten them, and none of them are loose. So Beast Mode had sent out the sway bar kit. 9595 is the sway bar kit. So we're gonna get that added to this. So let's get the package opened up, and I want to see what the difference is. So this is an upgrade for the Sledge. So we might as well get this done while we're waiting for the EXB parts to come in. So shout out to Beast Mode for sending this out to me. Something I wanted to try, and we're gonna give it a shot right now. So like Traxxas, give you detailed instructions, give you all the hardware, and then it tells you the front sway bar, rear sway bar, the colors. So I think what I want to do is I'm probably going to go blue intermediate. I want it soft. I don't want it too stiff. So we're going to go with the blue, which is the 2.2 millimeter soft. And that's about the size of God, there's only one color of each. So I think we're gonna have to do blue and white. So I'm gonna do a light dirt, which is gonna be soft. So I'm gonna put the stiffer one in the front, which is the blue. And then we're going to use the white, the softest one, in the rear. That should stiffen up the front during turning. Alright, so went ahead and got these put into place. Now I'm getting the cover on, and with the cover on these, it's saying to use 1 grub screw, not 2, because there's not enough grub screws for this. So basically, wherever your sway bar is, we're going to put grub screws into those holes. So the top 2 goes into the diff case. And then you're going to have to get some from the side over here. So I think the best thing is to pop off the wheels. And then we can get it from the side. Because there's 2 from the side. I'm going to go ahead and get this wheel back on. Oh, so I already messed up, because this piece is supposed to be in the middle here on the sway bar. So it's kind of unique. I'm going to go ahead and correct this, and we'll get right back to you. So once I got the other side on, we're going to set that up. Tighten your grub screws, which is the lower hole here and here. Check all your grub screws, make sure you're good. Now there's a lot more tension going down, so hopefully this will help with chassis slap. And there we go. We're going to move on to the rear. Alright, so on the rear, I'm going to bust off both rear tires. I'm going to bust off the wing just so you guys could see. Don't have to take off the wing, but this will give a little bit more insight to what I'm doing. I do notice that my fuel tubing is starting to stick out of that drive cup, but that's okay. Alright, so what we have to do is this inner bolt for the mudguard has to come off. And that doesn't fit there. That doesn't fit there. Might need a ball end for this. I use the Traxxas tools. I don't want to take the control arm off. So once I broke it loose, I'm going to just use the little nub from my kit to unscrew it the rest of the way. So we're reusing that screw. And then we got to look at these. We're looking for RR. That says right front, left rear. So that'll be left rear. This will be RR. And then I got to take out one of these grub screws. And then sway bar, you got to put this in the middle before you slide these things on. Slide this to the way I want it. So I want it up a little. So with this level, I want it to face up a little bit. Give it a good crank. And then this one is not facing up. I want it to face up a little so I can get to it. Now once I do that, we got to go over the axle. The mud guards are truly in the way. I think I'm going to pull the mud guard totally off because I can't see. And that don't fit in there. That don't fit in there. Got to get the dirt out of the screw. So that'll remove the mud guard so I can get in here. So I'm going to get the cover on right now so that it'll hold this thing into place, at least with a couple of screws. So before I put this cap on, I want this grub screw facing up. So that I can get to it with the cover on. Kind of want to center that up. Get that in there. Trying to cut the video down as fast as I can, but I'm doing everything by hand because these are really small screws. And I definitely don't want to strip anything out on this one. So holding the cover is all the same size screws, which is that. One on that side, I'm going to put one on the inner. So that'll hold my sway bar into place, so I'm not fighting with it. And then I got to get this thing in. Alright, I got one side in. Well, I still got to get the mud guard on, but I put the bolt in just to hold it in place. So like I said, I'm going to crack these loose. Take the little tool. With your fingers, you should be able to tighten it or unloosen it to get it out of there without having to remove the control arm. So you got to remove the complete mud guard, or just take the control arm off. So once I did that, I had to come in here and I really had to force this on the other side. I had to force it down, like there's too many impacts, or by having the bolt in there, it's yeah, see, this is the same on this side. Alright, well, I'm going to fight with this. I'll be right back. Alright, so that was a little fight getting that one in. And now that I got that in, we're going to go ahead and put the rest of these cover screws on. Trying to show you guys everything, but I really can't see anything. I think the next time I got to do it, I'll just take the control arms off, put those two pieces in, with the rock guards installed would probably be easier. Front, I didn't have to do that. Front, I had plenty of room. And according to the instructions, severe bashing shouldn't even have sway bars anyway, the way I'm reading it. But hopefully it'll make a difference. I mean, the thing honestly is pretty good the way it is, but I think on road and maybe grass and dirt, like grass, you really got to have the really thick sway bars in there. Light dirt, you got to have soft, where you got no traction, no grip. So I'm just getting those 2 grub screws started, because you got to have the tires on. And then I'm going to check these to make sure that they're bolted down. Make sure that I have no slip on those. It's going to be tough getting to those grub screws, but we will be able to get to them. Yep. And I'll be able to get to that grub screw. So that's the biggest thing, is I just want to make sure I can get to the grub screws. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and pull this screw back out, because we got to get the rock guard on. So just by hand, there's no access to this inner screw, and I think that's what makes it tough, and you got to get the control arms out. But I'm just trying to cheat it. We're going to get this Traxxas. I'm going to start the inner one first. I should be able to screw it down by hand with this little piece. So you're reusing the hardware in the back. This would probably be easier if I did the sway bars before I ran the kit. And then we're going to take the Traxxas tool and we're going to snug up the inner with the 90. A ball end, I tried the ball end, doesn't really work, just starts rounding off the screw, which I don't like to do that. And it is a good ball end, it's a snap-on. So that's tight. Now we're going to take our other screw for the front part, get that piece in. There we go, we're nice and tight. And then I'm going to get this wheel on and then we'll do the other side. But that's it. That wheel's tight. And then I'm going to do the other side. So when it's on the ground, I'll turn in the grub screws and that's it. Should make it like the front. Alright, so got it all adjusted up. Just wanted to show you guys the final product. While it's on the ground, went ahead, set my ride height, and then I snugged these up so that the sway bar doesn't move left and right. And that's it. Double check all the grub screws and it's all set. But what I have noticed is that the Sledge didn't have any damage, and it bashed harder than the Kraton did. So there we go. We're gonna get our wing put back on while we're waiting on parts for the EXB Kraton. There we go. It's all set up. So It's set up on the softest setting so that I can get out and run it in dirt on low traction, and we'll see if that's enough flex. Left all the big bars out of it, and we'll go from there. But there we go. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see how this modification does. We'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.